Good morning guys. So I've just dropped the children off at school and I have 6 hours now, well 5.5. I've had some breakfast and I've just made myself a cup of tea, and now I've come down to the studio and I'm just gonna try and get as much done as I can in 5.5 hours today whilst the kids are at school. So I've just looked at my desk, just show you what a mess. I've been working on this kind of flower piece, which I might show you. It's not going very well, not really liking the results, but it's just a play, it's just experimenting, so I'm just going to persevere, keep going and just see what happens. But I really need to tidy up this mess of a desk so that I can clear my head and work out what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that now. So I've had a look in my bullet journal, having a look at the things that I've written down for today. I need to get on with a pet portrait commission that I need to finish this week. I need to do a voiceover for my Patreon tutorial that needs to go up this week. And that voiceover is about 1.5 hours long, so I know that's going to take a big chunk of time. I also need to do a few bits to my website, and I wanted to have a look at my Etsy shop that I haven't really given much attention to recently. I did have a sale randomly over Christmas, so I'm wondering if it's always good to have a few different avenues of things that are selling. And I've just been thinking and looking around and trying to find some different inspiration for certain things that I've wanted to draw. And I've seen quite a lot of florals recently, and I suppose it's January, people are starting to think about the spring, and walking to school this morning there was some daffodil shoots coming up, and it just makes you think about florals. So I've had a go, and I think what I might do is, as I have this little flower study on my desk ready to go, I think I might just play around with this for the next hour, just give myself a little bit of time to, as it's on my desk, as it's all set up, have a go at that and see. I'll zoom in and show you how it's looking. There are parts of it I like. I quite like, I don't know if you can see it there, I quite like the daisies. I think they're looking quite good, but I think they're too small. I'm not quite sure what this is. It started off really pretty and I've overworked it and it looks really strange now. It doesn't really look like anything. I think it's called a hydrangea. And then I've just mapped in some tulips and some roses. I'm really confused about what's going on in the background. I've done green and blue. I think what I might try and do is fill up a bit more of this area here with flowers and this part here, instead of thinking too much about the background and just see how it comes together. I think I need a lot of work on this. I don't know what this flower is. I'm not sure if I made it up. But what I was trying to do was get the blending of the pinks and the whites in with getting a little bit of depth, which I kind of got, but I don't think it's not as I wanted it to be. So I think what I might do is play around with this for a little bit and see if I can improve it in any way. Okay, so I think that's as far as I want to go with this one. That blending is not good. I need to probably add a bit more detail to the daisies, but and the roses as well. What I was trying to do with this one was get a little bit more texture. You can see around here that there's a bit more texture to it. So I think it's okay. I'm not 100% happy with it as a composition, but then, you know, that's what these little studies are all about. I think I would take out these tulips and make it a little bit more central. Don't know. But yeah, it was really fun. I think that's the main thing. Fun to have a play. And now I think I need to crack on with my pet portrait. Okay, so I know I said I was finished, but I was just looking over this painting and I didn't want to spend too much longer on it. But what I've done is just gone in with some darker colours. So the darkest blues, burnt sienna, what else have I used? Burnt umber, raw umber, the darkest green I could find, which was green deep permanent and hooker's green. And I mixed it with a bit of raw umber and some Mars black and a little bit of so what I did was I went in to the kind of shadowed areas and I went into these hydrangea and just added a bit of depth behind, a little bit to the roses, and then I added a lot of water to the mix, which I think is called a glaze, and then went over certain areas on the flower just to give it a little bit of shadow. And although, you know, it's definitely not perfect and there's a lot that needs to be done, you know, the composition's not great, but I think it just gives it a bit more depth, and that's I'm almost on my way to a solution on one of the problems. Which was that it was just flat as a pancake. So hopefully you can see the difference, and it just makes this area pop a little bit more as well. So I'm quite pleased that I gave it another half an hour. A bit of a love-hate relationship with this painting. It was a lot of fun, but I'm not particularly pleased with the outcome. So on to the next one. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe and maybe share this video with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.